My name is Sarah Kalidis from Studio Onethirty. I design a range of textiles and furnishings that stem from my original paintings. My subject matter is mostly botanicals, with a keen focus on Australian natives. When I reflect on what has influenced my fondness for capturing nature, I think about childhood memories of camping trips to the New South Wales South National Parks, mostly swimming at the beach or the lake, bushwalking and collecting treasures. I guess I've always subconsciously had an affinity for nature. Now as an adult, I spend quite a bit of holiday time on rural properties with my family, and we love spending time outdoors, whether it's going for walks along the bayside, collecting local flora and admiring the bird life. My collection started about 4 years ago when I was sourcing floral upholstery fabric for some furniture. The use of florals in contemporary art and interiors has generally been more common varieties, what are traditionally seen as symbols of beauty and prettiness, species like roses and frangipani and hibiscus and evergreen foliage. I wanted to explore what was unassuming and not obviously beautiful, but something more humble. Typical knowledge of Australian flora. First thoughts that spring to mind are hardy grasses and silvery foliage, not often seen as your description of beautiful. Some of the most stunning species I discovered had little to do with prettiness and more about raw beauty, texture, filtering of light and shadows. The collection at that point was stripped right back to the foundations of what really inspired me, the colours, the movement, form of leaves and flowers, and how I could marry the artistry of botanical illustrations that was more of a traditional way of representing botanicals, and give it a really playful and contemporary edge, which has since become my signature style. My main medium to work with is acrylic on canvas. I really enjoy using structured paints that gives a lot of depth to the work, which really enhances the textural elements of nature. I've also dabbled in watercolour and pencil. This really allows the experimentation of the delicate nature of the juvenile seed pods and leaf cells, which is sort of the foundation of how my work started that you can see here in the smaller works. The painterly designs explore the rawness of my pieces, while the colour palette is a gentle enhancement of the soft hues often found in the natural landscape. The artwork process transitioned to soft furnishings and upholstery. I wanted the form and texture of the subject matter, being nature, to show through, the textures being intertwined by the tactile nature of fabric, creating interest and depth. The way to produce this aesthetic was through digital printing rather than traditional method of screen printing. The process then being I would create the original artwork, we would take a digital capture of that work, then set the desired pattern, repeat, scale and colour representation, which differed varying based on different substrates. What started out as a small textiles range suddenly grew to incorporate the original paintings, Z-clay prints, which was not something that was the intention of the collection. People wanted to see the art behind the range, which was wonderful. I'm not a technical artist. I'm mostly self-taught. I paint from the heart and it's about what makes me feel good. I love creating pieces that make people smile, so it was quite fulfilling to know that my art was being appreciated. This was long before painting native foliage and botanicals became something on trend. Here are some more pieces from my collection. This is my gumnut folk, one of my original smaller works that has then been translated to my textiles, which is Millie after one of the species of the eucalyptus gum. Then we have the May, which is from that gum leaf series. I've adjusted colours just to give it a real contemporary, vivid palette. And then I've got another option which has been adjusted again for something a little bit more subtle and subdued. One of the pieces that's been a real joy to create has been my gum leaf series. There is something intrinsically beautiful about the eucalyptus leaf. Their seasonal growth means that there's a shift in the subtlety of colour and tone. I wanted to use this silvery pastel palette and create a striking take on the subtlety of the colour changes. The exploration of botanical illustrations allowed the artwork to be modified for pattern repeats and surface design. Painting art where nature is a subject matter speaks to everybody. It's the common thread of our existence. We feel grounded and at peace when in nature. Collectors of my work are those who want to feel connected to their surroundings, and it really gives people a sense of calm and peace when they see nature, whether it's through photography, painting, illustrations, and everything like that. It's a natural cycle, watching the art flourish and grow as it matures through the creative process, much like a natural life cycle. When it reaches full bloom, it can be appreciated as framed art on the wall, or cushions, or upholstered sofas and furniture, and that's really the idea behind the brand.